Jharkhand specific programs and local guarantees for as social entitlement. Social entitlement in Jharkhand have a special character because the state was created to address the particular needs of its tribal communities and its forest-based economy and its history of underinvestment in remote districts. National schemes reach every citizen, but in Jharkhand they are supported by additional programs that respond to local realities such as forest rights, remoteness of villages, land fragmentation, and the dependence of families on seasonal migration. These local programs are designed to make sure that entitlements are not just written on paper but are delivered effectively in the blocks of Shimdega, Khuti, Godda, West Chinghum, and other districts wherever vulnerability is highest and government's presence is often thin. The Forest Right Act gives special protection to tribal communities and traditional forest dwellers. It gives families the right to hold and use forest land that they have depended on for generations and gives villages collective rights over minor forest produce. In the tribal areas of Gumla and Sharanda, these rights make a real difference in daily life because they allow communities to gather lac, tamarind, sal seeds, muha flower, and other produce without fear of eviction. The Act also gives Gram Sabhas the authority to protect and manage their forests, which strengthens local democracy and provides an asset base for development. For a family living near the forest, this is not only a legal protection but a pathway to livelihood, especially for women and elders who depend heavily on forest produce. Jharkhand has also invested in rural housing and livelihood in the ways that reflect the reality of local materials and climate. The Birsa Awas program supports the construction of durable houses for families that do not qualify under central schemes or face special vulnerabilities. In many villages, this program has also been used to improve living conditions of tribal households, especially widows and landless laborers. The design of these houses often incorporates local knowledge using material like stone, tiles, and wood where appropriate and aligns with the local cultural practices. In the rolling plateaus of Rachi and Lohardaga, a newly built house under this program symbolizes dignity and right to a safe shelter. To address poverty, Jharkhand has introduced a number of programs which focuses on improving rural income through producer groups, livestock development, community farming, irrigation support, and market linkages. The program is largely implemented through women's self-help groups under the National Rural Livelihood Mission and encourages collective action. When 10 women in a village in Pakur comes together to rear goats or produce vegetables for the local market, they are exercising a social entitlement that goes beyond cash assistance and builds community strength. The program also supports value chains such as fish farming, lac, and poultry, helping families shift from subsistence to enterprise. Jharkhand has placed a strong emphasis on nutrition because of the high prevalence of stunting and anemia in tribal communities. State specific initiatives work through Anganwadi centers, village health days, and mothers committee to identify malnourished children and provide supplementary nutrition. In a village in Chaibasha, a child may receive additional eggs, pulses, and micronutrients under a local nutrition program, and the mother may receive counseling on feeding and hygienic practices. These efforts are complemented by ground level initiatives carried out by civil society organizations and local volunteers, showing that social entitlements become real when communities participate actively. For people living in remote areas, Jharkhand has experimented with community-led irrigation and water conservation that strengthens the entitlement of access to water. Programs that build small check dams, contour trenches, wells, ponds allow farmers to grow crop beyond the monsoon. In the hilly areas of Dumka and the red sovite soil of Palamu, Such assets help families reduce their dependence on rain and seasonal migration. These assets are often built through Manrega, MG Narega, linking the right to work with creation of long-term infrastructure. When a group of men and women in Latehar builds a pond under MG Narega and then uses it to irrigate an acre of vegetables, the entitlement framework supports both income and resilience. Jharkhand has also made special efforts to support tribal students through hostels, scholarships, and coaching centers for competitive examinations. These initiatives help children from remote areas continue their studies without interruption. A girl from a village in Simdega may move to a residential school, receive a scholarship, and complete her education in a supportive environment. By doing so, the state ensures that geographical location and poverty do not prevent a child from pursuing her aspirations. The belief is that every young person from the tribal belt deserves the same chance as a student from a city school. Women's empowerment is another pillar of Jharkhand's entitlement landscape. The state has supported the formation of thousands of self-help groups and given them access to cheap credit, training, and market connections. These groups have become engines of change, allowing women to start small businesses, support each other during crisis, and influence local decisions. When a group of women from a forest village decides to collectively sell lac or tamarind to a trader, rather than individually at the village gate, they exercise their entitlement to fair price and economic self-determination. The impact of these programs is often visible and improved confidence of women during the Gram Sabha meeting and local planning sessions. In addition to these state-specific measures, Jharkhand has a network of district-level innovations, often created in response to unique challenges. Some districts have launched mobile citizen services for remote villages, while others have improved the delivery of pensions for elderly by organizing camps that allow on-the-spot verification and other authentication. In places where bank access is limited, local officials sometimes use banking correspondents to deliver benefits. These innovations are important because they make entitlement system work for people who live far from administrative centers. Through all these efforts, a clear principle emerges: social entitlement in Jharkhand are not isolated schemes. They are a set of guarantees that form a safety net for families and a launching pad for development. They protect land rights, support housing, improve nutrition, build a livelihood, strengthen women's group, and create local infrastructure. When implemented with sincerity, they reduce migration, improve school attendance, increase household income, and enhance dignity. If the people of Jharkhand are aware and confident and willing to engage with the entitlement system, the state can move steadily toward a future where every habitation has security, every family has opportunity, and every citizen feels included in the journey of development. Thank you.